Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers group, Facebook group. And this is Wednesday, so that means it's Tag a Week Day. We're on week 2, and we're going to make some pockets. We're going to add some tags. We're going to do some embossing. We're going to have fun. We may even add a little feather. You never know. We're going to be using the kit from my Porch prints called Birds of a Feather. It's one of my absolute favorite kits. And you're also going to need the ink that we're using is milled lavender. And you're going to need embossing powder. And you're going to need a heat tool. This is a Tim Holtz one, it's a Ranger. And let's see what else you're going to need. You're going to need lace to put inside your tags. And I think that's it. Let's see. Let's make sure. Oh, you're going to need your distress ink. And then you're going to need something to hold on to your little items while you're putting the embossing powder and things on them. Now, I'm going to use the heat tool off camera. The plug that I plug my tool in is way across the room in my area that I do it in. So we will be putting the embossing powder on camera. Then I will go and use the heat, and then I will bring them back and I'll explain about that as we do it. Okay, so we're going to set the lace to the side. We don't need that right now. This is the paper that we'll be using today. This is the backing paper that we'll use to put it on the book. This is page 2. And these are the pockets that we'll be using. We're going to make a small tag to put into a little tuck. And these are templates. Okay. And so we may make one envelope and the rest tickets. I'm not really sure. It depends on what all we need in the pockets. These are the papers that we're going to use for the tags. Absolutely gorgeous. We're going to make one big tag, and we're going to use this image right here for that. Let me take this off. And then this is going to be another one of our images, which is the bird cages. All of these are printed on the back side. Oops, there's one I missed. Printed on the back side with the stripes so that it will have a writing area on the back of each one. Let's see if I missed any others. This one is a writing page, and even though I did it correctly in the printer, I printed it, flipped it on the long side. You'll notice they came out upside down, but it doesn't matter because only the writing part will be on the back of the tag. I'm also wearing my snazzy 4-carat purple ring in honor of doing purple this week. Okay, so let's get going. This white paper is just for when we do the embossing. So let's build our page so we can set these papers to the side. And I've already inked everything that I can, okay, ahead of time. The milled lavender is very light, and you have to go over everything a couple times. So even though you can see on there that I've inked those, it's very light, and but you can see the purple, and so hopefully you'll be able to hang in there with me while I do that. I've pre-inked the page, and geez, well, we've got the 2 dark sides, so we're just not going to be able to see it on those sides no matter what we do. We don't ink the backing paper, so we could set that to the side for right now. So let's get going with these pockets. Now we're going to have 3 pockets. Well, 4. We're going to have 3 pockets and a tuck. So let's get rid of all this stuff. So what we're going to do, let me set that to the side, is we're going to put these 3 pockets. Now the ones that come in the kit are a little bit wider, and I just cut them down. I cut the thumb pull off of this one. We're not going to need it. But it does come with a white area where for you to cut out the area that you would want to grab with your thumb. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to put them on the page like this. And another reason I actually cut this one out from this paper, because that way we would have some color, because all 3 of the tags were this, or the pockets were this color. And I was really trying to get some more of the purple in there and some of the feathers. So let's do this. This is a bluish purple. It's hard to tell on camera, I'm sure. And then our pockets are our tag and our front pocket is purple with the purple flowers. Okay, so let's get going with this. We're going to just glue them down the sides so that each tag will go all the way down to the bottom. So let's figure out where we want to put them. Oh, like I said, I cut them down. I cut almost 1/4 of an inch off of each one. They're meant to be the full page wide, but I didn't want them to be the full page wide. I wanted to see a little bit, and I wanted to be able to ink them. Okay, so this is going to go here. This is going to go down here. This one's going to go down here. And then this little bitty one is going to go on here like that. Okay? So let's mark where we want the top of the first one to be. I'm not sure if it's straight or not, so we're just going to mark the one side. And then when we glue it, we'll make sure it's straight. So now we're just going to, there is a top to this because there's writing on it, and we want the writing to be the right side up. So let's mark our top now. This one doesn't have a top. Okay, so let's glue this one on. I'm using Fabri-Tac. Some people don't like it. They don't like the smell. You can use a white glue as well. I do have some, what's it called? Art glitter glue. So I have that white glue as well, but it dries so fast that I find it difficult to work with. Still not good enough to be able to say, all right, this is where I want it. I need to move them around a little bit. Okay. That looks straight. Oh, yeah, I can go by the line. Let's see if that looks straight across. Okay. Because we're going to do all the other ones by this one. So you want to make sure this one is straight. Okay, now we're going to put this one on. This shouldn't take too long today. It's probably going to take longer to ink everything, all the tags, than it is anything else. Let's put this about here. And all of this has been inked all the way around. It's kind of hard to see it except for on the sides. So we'll do that one there. Now this one we're going to glue all 3 sides because it's going to be the bottom, so that when you slide everything down there's a bottom and everything isn't a big belly band. You could make it a big belly band, except we're going to put that this little tuck on the bottom. We still could, couldn't we? We could make it a giant belly band. I just realized. Then we could make our tag bigger. This one's a little crooked on this side. It must have cut a little bit crooked. No, there we go. Yeah, it must be cut a little bit crooked when I trimmed it off, the edges. Okay, let's put this one on. And I'm thinking now that we might want to make a big giant belly band out of it instead of a pocket. That ends. Let's how would we do that though? Because then this bottom, that would make each one a belly band, wouldn't it? Oh, all right, okay, we can try it. Worst thing that could happen is I put it on pause and reprint the papers. Let's make this one. We'll glue it just down the sides. We'll put it on. We're going to put it up higher than we were originally going to put it on because we want the tags to stick out the bottom. Okay. You can see the inking on this one more than you can on the others. So now we're going to make the tags. Yeah, the tags. I keep wanting to say anyway. So let's get our papers out. Now let's do this one first, our biggest one. And let's mark it to where the bird is going to be in the center. Let's mark it here. We want it to be able to slide. And here. And then we will you know, I think we better remark that because it looks like he's going to be over too far that way. Plus I now cannot see where I marked it. There it is. Let's remark it. I'll make a remark. Bad joke number 1. Okay, so let's move him back this way. I've already decided it's a him. Okay, let's try it there. Like I said, what's the worst thing that can happen? We print it out again. Now I can't see my mark again. There it is. See, he is too far over. Well, you know what we could do? We could put some ephemera right here. Oh, we're going to anyway. And then that will make it look right. We can put this feather right here. Put our little feather on it. And make it into a tuck. So let's do all that. So we're going to make this into a tag. We'll do this the same on all of them. So we're going to just cut it where we want. It's too bad that we're going to lose some of those flowers. Then to match it, we're just going to put it on this side, line it up with the corner, and then we'll just cut it right across the same. My fingers were in the way. Okay, so now we have a big giant tag. Okay, so let's measure for the center, and I'm going to do it from the back. Oh, look, our feather's there, but it's okay that it's upside down. Let's mark it for the center. Move this out of the way for just a second. That's called a crocodile. And it's a hole puncher and eyelet setter. Now we could do eyelets in all of these. Let me move this over just a little bit. Okay, and that's where we're going to make our punch. It's a little easier to see on this side. So you're going to set it on the largest setting, and you're going to line it up with the hole. Looks like there's a piece of paper in there. And we're going to line the dot up with the punch, and now we have a hole. A whole hole. Now we're going to have to ink this puppy. We'll just do this once on camera, and then I'll go back and hit it again if it needs it, which it looks up to me like it may not. Or it might. You never know. Now, I forgot to tell you that this is Miss Paintalot's prompts, and this week's prompt was purple. I don't remember if I said that or not. And I'm just doing my own tags. She's doing a ring bound book that is in the shape of a tag. It's really cool, so you should make sure to go over there and check out her videos. I had already started the book when she started making the ring bound journal. Plus, I didn't want to necessarily be exactly the same, and I'm kind of glad that I'm not. Not that hers isn't really cool, but because the way I want to use this is as a reference, and you can put different items in a book versus a ring bound journal. You have to be more careful about thinking about things falling out. Okay, so now we're going to put a piece of lace in the top. I got this lace from my friend Dawn. She was nice enough to send me a ginormous rack. Random act of kindness. It's a huge package full of stuff. And when I say huge, the unboxing took 45 minutes. And I know I kind of yap, but I wasn't sitting and yapping about the whole deal. Let's see if I can grab those. Looks like I only got one. Oh, come on. Okay, now we're going to leave these kind of long until I see this this flops. So I'm going to wait and see how the others look. You know, if I moved this forward, they would lay down in the front. So I think I'll leave them long. And then we'll come back and put the ephemera on. So that's number 1. That should go all the way down and come out the bottom. Yep. Just nice. That way the little bit of the tag and the lace will stick out the top, or actually if we push it down just a smidge more, it will go down that far. It'll be even with the top of the page, and yeah, and then just the lace will stick out the top, so that's pretty. Now for the next one, we're going to use this. This is directional, so when we cut our corners, we want to make sure that we do that correctly. We want this to be the same width. This one worked out so well. Everything's going so well. We don't want it as long. We just want it the same width. This one we can cut from the corner. We're going to want it to be shorter though. I'm wondering, I almost want around the bottom corners. I'll think about it. I don't think so. That's why I said almost. So now we're going to cut the width on this one. this one. Was this one the full height? Yes. So if we take, say, 2 inches off, then that should be about right. Let's do that, and then we'll try it again. So it's going to be 8.5. Is that correct? All right. I'm not using that this time, so I'm going to get it the heck out of the way. It's a small stapler. So let's see how tall it is. It's just a little over 8. Let's make it just a little over 6. Wow, that seems really short. Let's try 6.5. Yeah. Now we don't have to have more than one tag. Technically, we could have a writing card in the middle and have another tag in the bottom. Yeah, see, that'll be just nice. Okay. You know, we could, I'm almost tempted to round the corners and make a writing card out of it. I think I'm going to. Let's see, corner rounder. So we won't have to use the hole punch on that. It's just going to be a writing card. So you can still barely see it. I think this is going to turn out nice. If I can get the embossing down. If not, we can still add the, I've never done it before. If we need to, I can print out another and we can add the ephemera without embossing it. I just thought it would be kind of cool. Miss P did it last week. We do ours before she does hers in the group. So we don't know what she's going to do on Sunday. We're doing ours through the week. So she's going to always do something different. And so I'm just going to do the embossing this week. I wonder if there's anything on here that we can perk up using glossy accents on here. It doesn't really look like there is. So we're going to put some ephemera on this too. I'm going to look and see if I have. We could take some of this and make some ephemera out of it. We could fussy cut that piece out and then put it on like this, round the corner, and put it on like that. That would be pretty, wouldn't it? This won't take that long. Fussy cutting is just cutting around the edge of a picture. Now, there were little bitty points on there, but I am not worrying about them. Okay, so I'm going to finish fussy cutting this when I go off camera to emboss the other ephemera. Okay, that way you don't have to watch me do that. And we don't have to cut this little tuck at all. We thought we might have to, but now we don't, because we can stick something in front of this tag and it will be fine. Okay, and then we'll tuck a little skinny tag in the side. Okay. Sorry about that. I meant to take a swallow of pop, not a slurp. Oh, you know, this is a writing card. It's very, very light. So we have to do both sides. This is just 65 pound, it's not 110. So it's a little bit thinner when you go to ink it, things like that. Yeah, see, this doesn't have the bird that's upside down on here. Okay, so we have this partially done. We have this partially done. I am not sure that we're going to need this. Well, we could put it in this pocket. It's a little big. Yeah, let's just make 2 tags and a writing card. We don't need to do this fancy folding tag. We can save that for another day. I'll show you that template. Okay, let's go ahead and glue this on. No reason not to. We're just going to glue it on this outside edge and the bottom. Which is right along there. That way it can dry before we try to put anything in there. Okay. And then we'll make a tag for this long one. And we'll make that out of this. Once again, we'll get the width from here. And we're going to do this exactly the same way as we did the first one. So now this one, instead of, what was that, 6 3/4, we will make it 4 3/4 or 5 3/4. We'll double check. There it is. There's a mark on the pattern. I thought it was my mark. It's not my mark, it's someone else's. Oh, that card is going to come out really pretty, or tag. Okay, let's see how long we want it. Yeah, we only want it this tall. That way it'll come all the way down, and it will stick up past this a little bit, but not too much. Oh, for cripe's sakes. Oh, look, that says postcard, and it's just the right size to be a postcard. I think we'll hold on to this instead of putting it in the scrap pile. Now, we want the flower. Which way was it? Let's see, this way, because the writing goes that way. All right, so let's trim the corners. Takes her stamp off. Oh well. That's pretty. Very, very pretty. That worked out well. Oh, and it's the same picture as that. And I didn't even plan that out. Sometimes we have good luck and sometimes we don't. So I think that purple stripe, I don't think it'll make too much color contrast. The large tag is the flowers, the middle is the brown, and this is a flower again. I don't think I've seen videos of people using the pockets this way, but I'm sure people have. I mean, That's too easy of an idea that popped into my head for it not to have popped into someone else's head. I'm just going to eyeball this one. I'm going to say right there. It's a little bit of a funny shape tag. That's all right. Our brains are kind of funny shaped. I look down every time I do the tag, so my mouth gets really close to the mic. So I apologize if I sound weird. Do not. Do not. Don't go there. Now, there is an end here somewhere. There was one. I need to roll this. I almost thought I was going to have to put you on hold. It sounded like he was choking in there. And we have ribbon fun again with Cherry. Let's see if I left these long enough that I can pull them right through. Yep. And that one worked out nice. I don't think I inked this. Now, I don't think I inked the back side of the other one. I'm going to go through after we're done, since these require so much ink because of the color, and hit all this again. And we couldn't ink these ahead of time because we had no way of knowing where, you know, the cuts were going to be. So we had to wait until we cut it to ink it. Okay, so right now we have our long tag. Okay, and then we have our writing card. Look at that, that's nice. Everybody lines up, very nice. Okay, and then we have this one here. That one comes out, and it lines up. Very nice. It's going to look a little different because of the rounded corners on the card. Okay, very nice. I like that. Yeah, I think I will cut these shorter. I'll save those. I don't know where we're going to put our feather now. Because if we put it on one of the tags, sliding it in and out is going to damage it. I'll have to think about that. Alright, so now we need to pick out which ephemera is going to go where, so we know which ones we're going to use. I still like the biggest one on the biggest card. So that one's going to go there. I like this egg, but I like this bird. We could use these two birds, I think. Get some more purple on here. Some purple on the tan card. Could put him here. And there's other, I didn't get anything out, but there's other pieces that we can add to this to make it a little more interesting. We're already at 45 minutes and we haven't even done the embossing yet. So, you know what I'm going to do is, we're going to put this here. So for now, we can put these two to the side. Oh, could we? Should we? Could we? Could we make another tuck? No. No. The putting another ticket or something there would cover up our thing. Okay, so I'm going to cut this off here, and then I'm going to make a part B. That way you can watch it at your leisure, you know, part 1 and part 2. When we come back, we're going to finish up our tags. I'll have them inked and everything, and then I'll show you how to put the embossing powder on, and then we will take a quick break, which I'm just going to put you on hold. It'll be instantaneous for you when I come back, and then we'll have it all glossed over by applying the heat. And I'm pretty sure I'm definitely going to make a postcard out of this, and I'm going to put it in the front with the tag. Okay, so I'll finish preparing that as well. I ended up kind of going crazy while we were off camera. I made a postcard and 2 writing cards in addition to the 2 tags that we already had. I inked up all the ephemera so that all we had to do was decorate. Now, I finished this fussy cut, and I want you to see the difference that it makes on this tag. It looks like a completely different tag. Now, I'm not going to glue the whole thing down. I'm going to make a tuck spot out of it, but I'm not sure I'm going to put anything in it. I don't want to cover up the bird. You could put something in the bottom. We also have the problem of being able to slide all of them in. So what I decided to do is to not emboss, because if we did, it would make each of these elements thicker, and then we wouldn't be able to get all 6 of our tags in our pockets. Now, we could possibly emboss this, and we could still do it now that it's on the page. We would just have to be a little careful with it. We would have to use our embossing pen, which looks like this. Looks just like a regular marker, only it has embossing ink in it. If we used this, we could emboss this. So I may do that when we're done, and then you'll see it in the picture. Okay? I've been having a little bit of trouble with Amazon. They're not letting me upload the preview pictures. For some reason, it's given me errors on adding the custom thumbnails. So, there's just going to be the photo image may just be in the image on the post where I post that we've got the video done. Okay, so we have, and I'm making these before the next week's prompt. So even though you're seeing this the week after, then I'm making it a couple of days after so that I have it done by Wednesday, and then I'm publishing them a week later. All right, so this is what's called mass manufacturing. So we're going to mass enhance these. I re-rolled the lace. I rounded corners, and I inked everything. So we can put the ink up there, I think. Now, I want to talk to you just for a second. This is the big joke with me, is that even though it's called a tiny attacher, it basically is it puts tiny staples in. Well, I actually was able to staple through the knots on these little ribbons because they kept coming undone, and with ease. So I was like stunned that it would do that. This is different than this. This is a mini stapler because the stapler itself is mini, not because the staples are mini. The staples are the same size. So if you go to buy one, this Tim Holtz one apparently is the only one that's out there, and this was less than $10. So you know what I'm saying? This is less than $10, but it staples the correct size staple, so I keep it on my desk. Okay, so let's set this over here and try not to break my glass surface. So we're ready to do that. Let's lay out our tags that we need to, things that we need to decorate. And we're probably going to make this into a tag from a writing card. And then we'll figure out how we're going to do it. Actually, we should make this into the tag so that we can put it in the front, because I'm running into trouble with this little ribbon on here and putting the postcard in. Okay, because the ribbon is right behind the top of the postcard, and it's keeping it from laying flat. But that may not be an issue. You know what I mean? We may decide that it doesn't matter. This is the little tag that goes in here. So we need to put a little ribbon on this, and we need to put a little something something on here. And so let's do that one first. Where did it go? There it is. So we're going to put this little key on here, and I'm wondering, I think we're just going to put it down here and decorate it like that. Now we could even make another tiny little tuck spot and put a ticket in there, and it would still fit in this little tuck spot here. So let's glue it down as a tuck spot. Not a very big one. Now remember, this has got it up and down because it has words on it. So let's put that on here, and we'll call that decorated. That way we can get it out of the way. And I have some tiny little tags. And one would fit right in there. So now all I need to do, when you do like this, you have to be careful. You'll cut your finger or your hand. You'll snip a little slice out of there. Let's ink this up real quick. See if we can do it without re-inking this. I just got some of these rounded daubers today, so I'll see how those work. I don't want to do it with purple because I don't use purple that often, so why get purple on one of those? Use those for our browns and our blues. and I like to use green. So we'll use it on the green as well. Boy, I tell you, I'm going to have to go back and re-ink all this stuff, I think. This has an up and a down, has writing on it. So let's tuck that in there, and then we'll tuck this in here, and then you can see it. There we go. So now that's done. Let's move all this out of the way. Set it just off of our workspace. Move my, as Miss P would say, rum and coke. It's really a Coke. Or Coca-Cola, if I was going to do a commercial, I guess. So now we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and put this on here, since we know we're going to do that. So let's glue this as a tuck spot. But we're just going to retain our right to make it as a tuck spot because we have our thickness issue. It just looks so beautiful. That's all I've got to say. Now it looks like there's a black mark right there, but it's actually the center of another flower, and I just didn't want to lose this much of the flower to or all the way up, just to lose that little mark because it's the center of another flower right there. Okay, so now we've got the lace in this one and the roses on it, so we've got this one decorated. Now remember, all of these are going to stick out the bottom, so you want to put this one as far down as you can because of the layering. All right, and so that this is even with the top and the little ribbon sticks out. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do are the two big writing cards because they go in the next pocket. So let's make, I want to put this one in the front, so let's make the tag out of that one. These two are going to go in the bottom pocket. So this breaks my heart, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Okay, and remember it's striped on the back so it can be written on. Everything has been double-side printed. My printer will do that. I don't have to run them back through. I've got ink under my fingernails. Okay. So on this, let's get our big shot out. Make another holes for a ribbon. Let's measure this one. Okay, there's a little line drawn on the page right here, and I'm gonna go right above it, and I think that looks like the center to me. And you can draw a fairly big dot. I was gonna put my pencil back where my big shot is, and where this lives. Okay. So now we're going to need some lace on that. I'd rather make it longer. I have another big thing of this too. Like I said, my friend Dawn sent them to me. I have my phone right next to where I'm filming, so if it dings, I apologize. I have two friends that are having family emergencies right now, and I'm keeping track of the messages on Messenger, just, you know, to keep up on what's going on. So that's just going to be there. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, so now we've got that there. Let's take our little, I don't think we'll be rounding any more corners, but you just take it and you use it just like you would a regular little stapler. And it just goes right through there. It's amazing how that works. Okay. I'll leave that on there for right now at that length. And that's going to go in here, but it's going to go in front. Oh, we need to decorate it. Actually, we may not put anything on. Let's put our little bird on there. No, let's not. I really, really don't want to cover the flowers. I wish there was something narrower. You know what? We're just going to have to cover the flowers. Which one do we want? Do we want this one because the flowers are purple? So we can put purple on this? I think we do. I think we do. So we'll put this on here. All these are double side printed because I needed to be able to use these as little tiny tags if I wanted to. And of course we could have made this a tuck as well. Everything on here could have been a little tuck. So that's totally up to you how many little tuck spots you want to put on here. Let's level that out before it dries. It's kind of got that pre-inked around it. I cut the corners on it, and I did ink it. You can see it better on this one. So let's say this one goes in here. And it's going to slide down to there, but we're going to put this postcard behind. And we're going to put this up like it's the stamp to be mailed. It's awfully big. Now I printed this page. Let's see if I've got it. This page was an entire page. Oh, come on, it's right here. Was an entire page of these, like this. Now, this was 2 pages printed down to a smaller size, or 1 page printed down 50% onto 1, so that it made 2 of these. I have an extra one. I didn't need it, but I needed everything to be smaller. Oh, for goodness sake. So, should we put, no, I'm going to put it up there. Like it's the stamp, like it's a big giant stamp. Okay, and then this one is a writing card, so we're not going to you know, put anything else on the front. Now on the backs of these, I think it probably will stencil, and I'm gonna have to get 1 shade darker or use a vintage photo, and that's probably vintage photo would probably work on here. Let me see. Could use this one. put this center heart right in the center. Oh, goodness. Okay. Let's see if I can do it this way. Oh, I forgot to tap it off. And it gets that big glop of ink off of the brush. But it doesn't matter because everything has already been inked dark. So I have to go ahead and ink the other side dark. I mean, you can infinitely decorate these. See how pretty is that? I think I'm going to line that up. And make this side right over here a little bit darker. There we go. That looks nice. So now we should do this. See, this is beautiful. We should do this on the backs of all of them if we're going to do it on some. Well, looks like it's not mattering. Doesn't matter. And I still have on my purple ring in honor of our purple theme. This is a 4-carat simulated, what, amethyst, I think. Okay. And we need to do it on this one. And I used to get a ring a month, and they were $6. I don't know why I ever stopped, other than the fact I have about 50 rings. So I love wearing the different colors. And I haven't been doing it on my videos. I used to wear, you know, a different one in every video to I wonder if this will fit across here. I think it will. In case you forget my name, it's on my watch. Anyway, I have a ton. Maybe one day I'll get the box out real quick and just show you face, you know, camera down how many are in the box. Okay, so we've got that one. And I think we're going to leave that. This is our great big one. And put this across the bottom of this one so it matches. Now, doing something like this with all these tags and cards would be something you could do to decorate like a small notebook, and we're doing it all on one page in one little 5 1/5 page. So I think we're doing pretty good. Okay, well, that looks nice. A little crooked. I think that's all for that. So now, see, you can use more than one color. And I really wish that I had cut out manually a different color for this one, since I made this one a different color. But what's done is done. Sometimes you just gotta go, oh well, next time I'll do it differently. Okay, so we can put this big one back in. Push it all the way down. We can put this other one back in. I've got so many I can't keep track now. And then this postcard. Yeah, this writing card goes behind here. So we want to layer them so that when we look at it, we can see the bottoms of all of them. Okay, so they're layered right there. We've decorated the back of that. Look at the ink on me. Yeah, I don't like that. What if I put it here? It seems like I'm doing the same thing on each tag to me, but we can't do any thickness to this or it's just not going to work. And each one of these we could have made into little tuck spots, every single one. So if you were doing these for separate pages, say, because this could be storage for your book, storage of extra tags and stuff that you could put on other pages. I think I'll put it down here. I don't really like it up at the top. I'm just going to have to sacrifice some flowers. That's all there is to it. Okay, and that and the postcard go in this bottom pocket. So let's layer those. See how that works? All of them right there. Okay. So now we have 6 tags. Well, 5 tags and a writing card. A writing card and a postcard. So we've got 4 tags, a writing card and a postcard. And this is the only thing we didn't use. So that worked out pretty well. So that's going to be our page. Not much else we could do to that, huh? Like I said, I may emboss this. We'll see. So we'll take this off. So this is our page. Now we're going to glue it onto our backing page. And I've lost the book. Where did the book go? I literally have lost the book. Alright, so we're going to put this page in the book. Oh no, here it is. It's just so thin right now that I didn't realize it was sitting in the storage container. So let's glue it on here. This will be a nice reference for us. And labeled that paper because it is a piece of paper. Don't want to forget that. You don't want to forget that it's a piece of paper. Okay. We'll glue that on here. This will have a 1/16 of an inch all the way around. So we'll put this on here and then we'll slide it down. And the page is too tall. No, the backing card is too small. How did I manage that? Yep, it is. It's too small. All right. So I keep cream colored paper over here. And I got one of those new Tim Holtz paper trimmers. I'm Tim Holtzing out, but they're actually so inexpensive that they're worth it to buy. So I don't know what else to say about that. Get some stuff out of the way here. We've got so much going on. So we need to be 8. I bet I did it 8 1/8 instead of 8 3/8. Quarter and an 8. Or, yeah. And then 5 3/8. Did I say an 1/8 on the height? I meant 3/8. Yep, it's just a little bit taller. Let's set this over here for the, well, let's just throw it away. If you tear your paper up when you throw it away, I should have saved that. I could have used it for something else. It will take up a lot less space in your trash can. You can get more in there. All right. I want to make sure it fits and then put some more glue on. Yep. That's the craziest thing. It was just off by an 1/8, but since it just sticks out by a 1/16, then that made all the difference, didn't it? I make these pages all the time. I do not know how. I must have just looked at the paper trimmer wrong. Anyway, what I was going to say is I got the little guillotine. I thought it would help with space, you know. I have a lot of trouble with guillotines, though, so I don't know. I mean, I'll probably keep it and try to learn how to do it. Paper seems to slide, and I have trouble seeing where the edge is, where, you know, to make sure it's lined up. Okay, there we go. I think maybe the backing page is cut a little off. Okay. So we're going to open this up. Oh, we didn't put our little feather on. I guess we won't be embossing that, will we? got glue on it. There we go. I meant to put the, whatever that's called, the shaft, on the glue, and I glued it over a little bit. So we have our birds of a feather. I really don't like that. Now wait for the glue to dry and use the glue eraser. I have other feathers. There we go. And then I'll just use the glue eraser and erase that off. Okay, so that's our page. And we'll put that page in our book. We're halfway to having our first signature done. Let's double check this. Yeah, that's fine. It was just off a little bit, and I actually could have made it a little smidge taller, I think. Make sure we get enough glue in the corners. I've started doing this zigzag here instead of just the straight line because it does add a little extra glue. I don't really, I think if the edges are glued, depending on what you have in the center of the page, of course, but I think if the edges are glued securely, it's just paper, it's not going to go anywhere. There we go. There's page 2. Let's get that glued down. And we have 3 tags, 3 writing cards, I believe. I wouldn't swear to it. There's 6 of them on there. It could be 4 tags. It is. It's 4 tags and 2 writing cards. So that's our page. We'll get them all lined up. And that's our video. And I will see you next time. And that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.